The following is a quick video tutorial on how to use document search to create a filtered view of requisitions pending your approval. First, let's start with an example of the traditional buy-to-pay approval queue. By navigating to Orders, Approvals, Requisitions to Approve, I now have a view of my approval queue. If I'd like to apply filters, I can do so on the left. For instance, if I'd like to view requisitions that have a specific fund associated with them, I can save that filter, and now my approval queue is pared down to just requisitions with that fund. However, if I navigate away from that approval queue and at a later date re-enter the approval queue, those filters are lost. If I'd like to create a saved view of my pending approvals, not using the traditional approval folder, I can use the document search. Let's see how. First, let's access the document search for requisitions by navigating to Orders, Search, and Requisitions. The default experience shows me requisitions that have occurred in the last 90 days with no filters. Let's start to build that pending approval queue filter. First, let's go to Add Filters and find Requisition Status. Now let's include requisitions that are pending and apply that filter. Now let's ensure we're looking at all requisitions and just not those submitted in the last 90 days. Let's click Submitted Date and All. Now let's create a view of our org by clicking Add Filters and finding the Organization custom field. I can add one or many values here. In this example, I'll use one org. Let's assume I'm one of many approval queue participants for org 23520, but I'm only responsible for reviewing activity associated with a specific fund. I'm going to add another filter under the Add Filters and find the custom field for fund. And I'm going to apply one or multiple values of funds. Let's also assume I'm a level 1 approval queue participant. So let's add a filter for that level 1 approval queue. To do so, I'm going to add one additional filter by clicking Add Filter and finding Current Workflow Step equals level 1 approval. I now have a filtered view of pending requisition approvals for org 23520 that include a fund of 00001 that are currently in level 1 approval. If this is the approval queue view that I prefer, I can pin those filters of information to ensure the next time I navigate into the document search requisitions, my view will show these filters. Let's demonstrate that. Navigating back to the home screen and coming to the Orders, Search, Requisitions. I now see my filters are present. I can further customize this document search experience by clicking the gear icon. This allows me to add preferred columns of data that I would like to appear in my document search landing page. Let's demonstrate adding additional custom fields from the Chart of Accounts segment. We will add root, subactivity, and activity, and apply those columns of data. We can now see our 3 columns of data appearing on the default experience. I can reorganize these values by dragging the column header. If these 3 pieces of information are important long-term, I can also pin those columns of data to ensure that those columns appear each time I navigate into my document search requisitions. Let's demonstrate that by navigating to the home page of Buy2Pay and navigating back into Orders, Search, Requisitions. I can now see my filters have been applied and my columns of data have appeared. Please note there are many additional filters available that may prove useful for your document search experience. Additionally, there are columns of data that can be added to the default experience as well.